Oh my god, you won't believe what I've just found on eBay. I'm going to have to withdraw some petty cash and buy this.
Darren, this magnificent feast here is the last of the petty cash.
Slow down. Chew your food.
The last of the petty cash went down the drain for Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain.
Hello, welcome to the last of the petty cash. My name's Darren McQuade, the Magic Ghostbuster, and this is
Chris Carter from the Spirit of 84.
So we are basically talking about Ghostbusters in print for this episode, which we've got quite a lot to talk about. So we've got some of the books on the table here. I always thought print was dead.
No, Darren, print isn't dead.
Oh.
Only in your world.
Yeah, I mean, I still need to learn to read.
Yeah.
So, it's going to be a very much you podcast, this one, talking,
Okay.
And I'll listen.
Okay.
So just before we begin, have you picked anything up the last couple of weeks?
When do I not pick anything up?
Very true.
Yeah, just a couple of little items. One of them's quite apt because of what we're talking about today. I think we talked about these very briefly in one of the earlier podcasts.
We did, yes.
And these are the Carnival, because I thought they were Ladybird.
Yes, so I actually remember saying Ladybird, and no, they're Carnival.
Yeah,
these books.
The Carnival Ghostbuster books. So two of these come up really cheap, and they was in really lovely condition. That one's called The Lost and Foundry, and it's got the Citizen Ghost on there, isn't it? And that one is The Cabinet of Calamari.
Yes, and I had quite a few of these books as a kid, so I spent a lot of time looking at the pictures because I said I couldn't read. But I think there was 8 of these, if I remember correctly, and some of them you could get in a set where it come with the tape.
That's correct.
Well.
Yeah.
I don't think they all come like that. I think maybe only half did, but I could be remembering wrong on that.
Again, they're quite affordable as far as Ghostbuster collectibles can come. So these are in really lovely condition, and I think these cost me £1.75 plus postage for the pair of them. Yeah,
which is a bargain.
Yeah. So you know, there are small, cheap, affordable collectibles out there. So
absolutely.
That, and do you want me to do my other one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a look at
also, a few of you might have seen it, but Zavvi were doing a really, really good deal on T-shirts, and they was doing 3 T-shirts for 20 quid, which was
bargain,
an absolute bargain, and actually some interesting designs on there that I either hadn't seen or hadn't bothered to pick them up. One is the Razor Cult candle design from Frozen Empire, which I've got on there.
Really cool design. It's got like a skeleton with like a Razor Cult banner around it, and you could see that design on the candles in the background.
And this one, which is based on the Ready to Believe.
The advert, and again, it's really cool. It's a white T-shirt with the black and white print. You've got Moogly peering around. Lots of text, so really cool design that is.
Yeah, slightly different to what we normally see. Black sort of accents on the sleeves and around the collar. So really, really nice shirt.
I think that works better than you would think. If you described that to me without me seeing it, I'd probably think, that sounds a bit naff. Yeah. But it actually works really well. Yeah,
and the third one I got was a dark, I think it was a black one or a dark blue, and it's got the Temple of Gozerian logo above the breast, and on the back it's got Goes of the Gazarian and the 2 terror dogs on the steps saying, "Are you a god?" Which was really, really cool. My granddaughter loves that part when they ask Ray if he's a god, so I thought I'd buy that. So as I say, 3 for £20. I don't know if the deal's still going on. It's worth having a look on there, but
and even if it's not, it will probably come back at some point. Because I've seen deals on their hoodies as well. I think 2 for 40 maybe, or whatever that was. And a lot of designs on there at the moment, which is cool.
And yourself, Darren?
So I'm not going to show you it today, but I've bought a few different food items, and we're going to do a podcast on the history of Ghostbusters food items, which is quite a lot. So I've got some of the old jellies
Okay.
So it was actually, I've seen them come up separately before, just individual jellies, and they normally go for quite a lot of money because they're the sort of things that got 8 wrappers thrown in the bin. They're by a company called Alma.
Alma, yeah.
But these ones are all, there's 4 of them, and they're all still stuck together or attached together.
Yeah.
That just made it sound like the jellies are like stuck together the way I said that. I've also got a McCain potato shapes bag, which again, absolute rarity.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about those. Oh, and a cereal box. And I know we both got a cereal box each recently. And there's been so many Ghostbusters cereal boxes over the years. America particularly had quite a lot with Ralston. They had loads of holograms on. I think our most famous ones in the UK were the GB2 ones, where you got different pictures on the back, and probably the most famous one of them is the River of Slime. You've got stickers inside to stick on, but we got some real Ghostbusters ones, which are incredibly rare.
These were by Nabisco, and they were shreddies, wasn't they?
Yeah, so they done shreddies and shredded wheat. Yeah. But the ones we got were shreddies.
And it was actually very, very fortunate because it was a box that is extremely rare. It's a box that both me and Darren actually didn't have, and we were prepared to go a few quid on these, and
we got them.
We got them for a steal.
Yeah, and I think it probably helped that we weren't trying to bid at each other, because the guy had 2 that we needed, so you went for one, I went for the other, so that probably did help the price stay a little bit lower. But it's interesting actually, because yours arrived today, which you've just shown me. And as far as I know, mine has arrived, but I've not been home yet. And I think he's got mixed up because you've got my one. So I've probably got your one. But I mean, I don't think we were that fussed about what design.
No, I mean, the main thing. And the beauty of these boxes, because I've bought off this gentleman before, and as I showed Darren tonight when we started filming, these boxes are salesman's samples. No best before date on them stamped. Never been put together in the best condition that you could possibly ever get them. So really, really pleased and chuffed with these. It was a real big one for both me and you. Yeah,
absolutely amazing. And I have messaged him to see if he'll get more, so we'll see if he gets back.
See what comes up.
So one thing we do want to talk about is San Diego Comic Con. Just see those. So the way we film this is we try and film a couple of episodes at a time, because our work schedules just get so hectic sometimes that we might not be able to see each other for a couple of weeks. Or they could, but then equally there could be weeks where we could just bore each other to tears for 3 days. So we like to do a couple at a time just to be safe. So as we record this, we're about halfway through San Diego Comic Con. So there may well be stuff announced, and probably most likely, as soon as we've started talking about this, they'll announce something new that we haven't talked about, and people will be like, "You missed the trailer for the Netflix show" or something. But we're going to talk about what we've seen so far. So first up, I think, is the Ecto-Glow stuff. Now, we knew most of this was coming anyway from Ghostbusters Day, but we've got a better look at it now, like the Ecto-Glow Ecto-1. Which was exclusive for Pulse members to begin with. Don't know at what point it became available for normal non-Pulse members.
The wider public.
But in the UK, it's sold out, isn't it? At this point in time.
Sadly, there's a few people that have missed out. We're doing what we can to try and help with that, but we'll just have to watch this space and see what happens.
I mean, by the time this airs, maybe they've come back and still available. So obviously check, don't take our word for that, that it's not available right now. But looks great, doesn't it?
Yeah, looks amazing. Scheduled for January release, so it's not that far away. That'll creep up on us before we know it.
And I would say with Hasbro Pulse and your pre-order, you don't get charged straight away. So if it is available and you're on the fence, just order it.
Yeah, grab one. Yeah, definitely.
And in worst case, you can cancel it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think it looks great. It's the sort of stuff I really wanted from when they started re-releasing stuff. That's cool. Especially for people that don't have the originals. I wanted new stuff, and now they're giving us new stuff, which is great.
Sooner than we expected, actually.
Yeah, definitely. Because we know they're doing the Ecto-Glow Copter, although that's not been revealed yet, has it?
No.
But we've seen the Ecto-Glow Slimer and Stay Puffed, which look really cool as well. So nice to see the paint jobs on them. At the moment, at the time of recording, we don't know if we're going to be able to get the figures Obviously, they're for sale at the convention. They normally go online after, but
yeah, possibly Monday. So this is, as we're recording now, it's Friday night. Possibly on the Monday. I've been talking to a few people over there, so we'll just wait and see. Retail on the figures at this moment in time,
$80.
$80. I should imagine we're going to be looking at around about 70 to £80 by the time we get them over here, which for 4 Exoglobe figures,
yeah,
on the cards in a convention exclusive box is an absolute bargain.
Yeah, absolutely. And so yeah, we're just hoping they go up for sale on the UK website, and we'll be jumping on those immediately, I think. And again, when they do come available, don't. Well, I'll say that. I'm saying this, by the time they see it, it's going to be too late to buy them, so there's no point in saying it.
I mean, don't sit on the fence.
Yeah.
If you get offered these at a reasonable price, try not to pay scalpers prices. I do keep saying this, because you pay scalpers prices because of, like, you get FOMO, like fear of missing out. You get your arse slapped and you pay way too much. Yeah,
and I find sometimes with these things is the price actually drops after a while because the initial buzz is gone.
Yeah,
and suddenly the price comes down.
Yeah,
not with every collectible.
No, but some.
There was one collectible I wanted, which was either a New York Comic Con exclusive or a San Diego Comic Con exclusive. Can't remember which one. And I didn't jump on it straight away, and it actually became really hard and expensive to get. And it wasn't even Ghostbusters. It's a Jurassic Park thing.
All right. Okay.
Now, I don't collect Jurassic Park, but they done a box set of I forgot the character's name, the lawyer.
Right.
And the T-Rex eats him off a toilet.
Yeah, yeah.
And he's sort of got his arms up, looking scared. And I just thought it was hilarious, and I just kind of wanted it, but could never find it for the price I wanted to pay. Anyway, I've gone off a completely different route.
Yeah, you have. Yeah, you've gone from.
So we're now a Jurassic Park podcast.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new film yet?
No.
No, neither have I.
Okay.
Right, that's the end of that podcast.
Yeah. Too many films out there to see at the moment. We've been spoilt this summer a little bit. So.
Yes, we have. So I guess we should get back onto Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So Exoglow stuff. Mondo.
Wow, was I excited to see. I should say I was excited to see Ray, because Ray's my favourite and he always has been. But the Janine figure, which they announced today, blew me away.
That was a brilliant figure. And it comes with a desk, it comes with alternate legs so she can actually sit down properly.
Yeah.
And that was the sort of thing I actually wanted as a kid. I wanted a desk to sit my Janine at in the firehouse.
Yeah.
And never had it.
No.
So that was brilliant. Then it's got Slimer where he's kissing her from the intro scene.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant figure. I don't think they've announced an ETA for that yet, have they? But
no, well, I've got to be honest. I mean, Mondo, we love everything you're doing. We really do. But please give us one figure. Yeah. I keep saying this every time we do a podcast. Please give me one figure. We're 3 figures in the hole at the moment that we've paid for, and we still haven't got one. I know it's out of your hands, but
you don't have to take the pre-orders until we get one. So that is in your hands.
Please, yeah, just give us one.
Because Ray is scheduled to go up for pre-order in September.
Yeah.
Venkman was delayed until August, so hopefully he sticks to that. I'll be very annoyed if he's delayed until September and we're paying for Ray when we haven't even had Venkman. That would annoy me. Hopefully that's not the case. And I'm going to guess that Janine will probably go up for pre-order maybe December time, sort of 3 months after. But I have no info on that. That's just an assumption.
Yeah. I mean, it just, again, with regards to the Ray figure, it comes with, as we'd announced earlier, we knew he was going to come with Gash.
Yeah.
Oh, the Gash figure.
How good does that look?
Yeah. Oh.
It looks... It doesn't even look like a figure. It looks like a proper, expensive statue.
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Well, they've just done such a good job. It's ridiculous.
I don't know if you saw as well on the footage that White Chest put out there, and I think Geek Dad Live and that put out there. There's a mini Stay Puft.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether he's coming with Sandman.
I think he's coming with Ray, as far as I know, because I think there's is it in the intro or in another scene where Ray is hugging a
mini Stay Puft? Oh, right, okay.
I can't remember when that happened, but I do vaguely remember that in one of the episodes.
Right, okay. So the mini Stay Puft is absolutely adorable.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say, and I'm not very critical about things like this because I really, really like everything Mondo's doing. I think Ray's body shape and all that is perfect. I'm a little bit sketchy about the head and the face at the moment.
Yeah, it doesn't look quite right.
So I'm hoping this is a very early rendition and it might change slightly, but...
yeah, hopefully, because it does need a little bit of improvement. These are obviously high-end figures. They're not cheap. They're not your £20, Black Series or whatever you want to call them. So that is something they need to get perfect for that sort of price range.
Yeah, definitely.
And, I think they will. I mean, everything else, it looks incredible. I can't say. I think that's really the only complaint we've ever had about this Mondo line so far.
Yeah.
So that's Mondo. And then the only other thing, which seemed to have gone really under the radar, no one's really mentioned it, is the packaging reveal for the Plasma Series Ecto 1s.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Again. Yeah, we knew there was going to be two packaging, and I think Darren sort of hinted that he anticipated there'd be one for the standard version of the Ecto 1, the Hasbro,
and then
the deluxe version.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen it, Darren.
Yeah. So it's like a big box, looks like a metal case design.
Toolbox.
Yeah,
it's like
toolbox. And it's got green slime dripping out of it, that sort of stuff. And then you've got a separate box. Same sort of design, it's a bit thinner with pink slime dripping out, and they're both together with a slip cover around the middle. So you've obviously got the main Ecto and your Ecto, your basic package in that first box, and then your add-on bits for anyone who bought the 1A version is going to be in that second box, which is really cool that they've done it like that, because I wasn't sure how they would package it back in the day. So I ordered two myself, and I ordered a 1A and a 1.
Yeah.
And I think logically it would have actually made more sense to order two 1As, because for the extra 80 quid, you were getting so much more.
Yeah.
And, if you put the 4 Ghostbusters in the GB2 costumes on eBay, you'll get more than that back, I think, easily. But the reason I went with the 1 and the 1A was because I wasn't sure if the packaging would be different, which I know is a sad collector's thing, but I wasn't sure if they put them in different packages or whatever. But I'm going to assume what you see for the Ecto 1 is what people who just bought Ecto 1 are going to get sent, and then you've got this add-on pack which is just sort of attached to it, really.
I mean, also with this reveal, obviously they said the packaging contains a considerable amount of Easter eggs. I mean, as we're talking about, it's for the guys out there that muck around with tools and that, it looks very much like a snap-on tool chest. That's what the packaging is designed as. As I say, there's lots of Easter eggs throughout the whole thing. They've also given us a little bit more footage as regards the figures.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the figures
look really good. Yeah. Like, they have definitely upped their game with the figures.
I mean, the detail is immense on these figures. From all the little things like the free thermal beverage mug, the balloon, all that sort of stuff is
fantastic job. And something that struck me from the pictures is the LED boards on the 1A.
Yeah.
Obviously, when we first saw it, it was a prototype. It didn't light up very well, but obviously it was a prototype, which I think people forget sometimes when this stuff is revealed. People go, "Oh, that's rubbish." Well, it's a prototype. But it lights up so well now.
Yeah.
Really well. It's so crystal clear that you're seeing what's written on there.
So, we're very, very excited. It's, tense few days with San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah, hopefully there's more stuff revealed that we can talk about in the next podcast. But it's just dawned on me how much stuff we've actually paid for that we don't have.
I've got to be honest.
Those and those Ecto ones.
I looked through the other day and I was looking at all the pre-order items, and as I say, we're three figures in on Mondo. We're
Ecto 1.
We're the rooftop battle figures.
Yeah, the Proton Pack.
And
the Ecto Glow Ecto ones, which we've ordered. So that's quite a lot. And I mean, I don't know if you've ordered anything outside of Ghostbusters. I've got a couple of bits from a video game that I bought on Limited Run Games, again on the pre-order thing, that are not due for another couple of months. So there's just loads of stuff we're just paying for all the time that we just wait so long for. But it'll be like Christmas when I think the Ecto ones are due around Christmas, aren't they?
Yeah, the Ecto ones are, so hopefully in the last quarter.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I remember I know they got them a bit earlier in America, but when the 2 in the box come, my 2 in the box arrived on Christmas Eve last year.
My one come on Christmas Eve as well.
Yeah. So that was quite a cool.
And it's still sitting in the hallway, as I said on the last podcast.
Yeah, that's going to be a running gag, isn't it? We'll be on episode 250, and it's still in there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not going to open it, you must let me have it.
No.
So, Ghostbusters books. There are. I mean, this is just a tiny percentage of Ghostbusters books we have on the table here.
Yeah.
I guess the original book was the original novel back in the day.
Yeah. This is the paperback version of it. So.
Yeah, by Larry Milne, that was. So, cool read if you've never read it. And we did have, when was this? Maybe five years ago now. This was, I think it was this version, released with the GB2 novel in a deluxe book. Well, it wasn't really deluxe, but it was combined. Yeah. Which was good, and that's worth a read as well, because it has. I remember the GB2 one specifically. I remember things like it mentions like the Ecto 1A was a separate car and things like that. Which, you know, whether that's canon now, who knows? That's very much up for debate. But yeah, very cool book. And I mean, I haven't actually read this book for years. I should probably go back and read it at some point. Have you read this in a long time?
I haven't read that in a long time. As I say, copies come up on your usual suspect sites like eBay, etc.
Yeah, it's not a rare book. Really,
it's not. No, it's not in good condition. It more than likely commands £15 or £20 in good condition.
Yeah.
This one isn't too bad. It's got a sticker price on the front. It was more than likely picked up at a charity shop. It's not dog-eared or anything. It's not bent.
Yeah, and I'd forgotten it actually has a middle section with like what was it, about 4 pages of coloured pictures, which is really cool. Guess how much this was back in the day?
I reckon you're going to be looking at about £2.99.
£1.75 printed on the back, whereas I don't know what a paperback like that costs nowadays. Probably a tenner.
A tenner, yeah.
So that just goes to show how much prices have changed.
But yeah, definitely one of the lower end collectibles, or one you should have really in your little library, and definitely worth picking up.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I guess after that, I mean, we had an abundance of comics back in the day for the real Ghostbusters. I mean, was it about 150 of the Marvel ones here in the UK?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody, comics were a big thing for people, I think. Children definitely, sort of from the 60s up until sort of the mid 90s, comics were a big thing. So it was something you could afford with your pocket money.
Yeah.
You got your 50p or a pound or whatever it was.
Normally get a cool little gift on the front of them, whether it was a crappy little toy or a jelly or a sweet or something. You'd get that sticker maybe.
Yeah. So they you know, as I say, lots of kids read comics, and you know, I was a kid that grew up on comics as well, and you know, I used to love every week, you know, waiting for the next instalment of, not with the Ghostbusters because I was a little bit old for that then, but the comics that I read back in the day, you know, and say literally couldn't wait for the next comic each Saturday or Friday.
Yeah, and I think like just how big the whole comic universe has got now, like in the last sort of 15 years almost, like comic book movies have just become so just immense. It seems like there's one every couple of months, you know, your Supermans or your Avengers and all that sort of stuff. Yeah. It's absolutely crazy.
It's a very, very difficult thing to keep on top of, but the real Ghostbusters ones, if you can pick them up,
they're never overly expensive, are they? And often you'll find bundles of them. It might be 10, 20, 30. I mean, I remember seeing someone had listed all of them at one point. Yeah. I think for all of them they wanted £300, which worked out to a couple of quid an issue.
Yeah, and they are worth picking up because there's some fascinating stuff in them. Obviously, you've got quite good, strong storylines in them. Yep. The drawing.
The art style.
That is really, really nice. Yep. The covers were always colour. As you know, they were really, really cool. And there's lots of adverts.
Yes, and I was going to say the adverts are some of the bits I really like. All the adverts for all the different cereals and all the different promotions you could get. I love that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there's things like in some of them I know. we had a company over here, unless you're a real big collector, called Dolland and Aitchison. Yeah, so Dolland and Aitchison were they were
opticians.
Opticians, yeah. So that so you got your glasses and that from them. They done a range of Ghostbuster glasses for kids.
Yeah.
And you also got a really cool little
case, and there's two versions of that case. There's a blue one and a grey one.
That's right.
I think I have the blue one if I remember.
Yeah, and I have the grey one.
Yeah.
And and I think in some of the comics there's the adverts for that. And some of the foodstuffs and that at the time, like the HP.
The potato pasta shapes.
Pasta shapes,
and the McCain potato shapes. I'm sure there's probably an advert for those in there somewhere. And we are going to be doing a podcast on all the food stuff at some point, aren't we? Because there's loads to go over with that.
So the comics were great, and I think as Darren was saying earlier about pickups, on some of the comics you used to get the Alma.
Yeah, the jellies. Yeah, you would get a jelly. I have a Slimer, the issue 1 of the Slimer standalone comic. Yeah. And there is a jelly attached to that. Yeah. Still.
So for those of you that don't know, the Alma jellies. Alma was a confectionery company. They was around sort of late
80s, early 90s.
Yeah, I think they was more likely even before that. I think there was a few brands they worked with, but they done these amazing. Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters jellies in the shape of a ghost. Yeah,
and I think there was maybe 8 different ones.
Yeah.
We might be slightly off with a number, but I think it's either 8, maybe a give or take couple. Yeah. And you can get similar jellies nowadays. They normally look like sea creatures. I've seen them in like shops like Home Bargains and all that, where it looks like an octopus or something. It's the same sort of jelly, generally, just obviously not Ghostbusters branded. And if you find an original one now, the jellies are black. Yeah. You won't find one where the jelly looks like it's fresh from the 80s.
Yeah, and it's a bit of a worry that 40 years on they're still holding their shape and not decomposing. So
yeah, it's they outlive us, really. I mean, would you be willing to eat one if I open a jelly?
Yeah, I possibly would. Yeah.
Okay, maybe that'll be coming up in a future podcast. I don't know if you'll be doing the one after.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, for scientific purposes. Yeah.
Actually, we were discussing via text a couple of nights ago about replacing the jelly. So removing the jelly, peeling the film back, replacing the jelly with maybe a wax or a resin.
Yeah. Because obviously the actual plastic container that jelly comes in. Is the shape and the mould of the ghost. Yeah. So there's no reason you shouldn't be able to do something like that. Maybe we'll have to wait until we can pick up a couple of cheapies.
Yeah, and maybe try something like that. 'Cause I'm sure, and I might be remembering, but I think the one that's attached to my Slimer, the jelly's actually shrunk and moved away from the plastic.
Right.
But I'm going to have to double check because I might be remembering that wrong. Whereas the ones I bought recently, they're still. I mean, they still look like, it just looks like black jelly. It doesn't look bad, other than it being black. I actually can't remember what the original colours were.
Yeah, so that's the worry. They might have been black, but maybe that's a question for Rob Barbera, Bobby 80s. Maybe Rob can tell us what colour they actually were, because I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, my memory, which is terrible, so I can barely remember last week, because I'm trying to remember 40 years ago, but my vague memory of having those sort of things was they were kind of like bluey green colours, and I don't remember them being one solid colour. I remember it being like a bit of a mix of colours. But like I say, I could be completely wrong. I'm probably just mixing it up with the modern sea life type jellies, possibly. But very interesting to think about that.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about jellies, we're supposed to talk about books.
Yeah, we go off on a little bit of a tangent, and so hopefully a few of you will remember.
Yeah, so Real Ghostbusters comics, and they went up until the mid-90s. I can't remember exactly when they finished. I know America had different comics as well to what we had. Didn't we?
Ours was a larger version than what you got in America.
Yeah.
More like yours were more like how we imagine an American comic like Spider-Man, etc. Ours were a larger version, predominantly sort of a paper, as opposed to sort of a glossy magazine. And I think I've got about 3 or 4 lots of the original artwork as well, including the How Slimer Became Slimer. So quite an interesting one to dig out.
Yeah, definitely. And I know IDW did, which we'll get onto in a bit. They'd done their own version of how slime becomes Slimer, if I remember correct, as well. So yeah, it's very. I mean, we'll probably do a whole episode on Slimer at some point.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll go over all that again, but after the comics, I mean, Ghostbusters really died off for a few years, didn't it? And I think the next book that I can recall was a novel, which I think was called Ghostbusters: The Return.
Right.
And it was a very orangey cover, had like a demon on it, and I did read it. I can't really remember much of the plot now, if I remember. I don't think it's considered canon at all.
Right.
And it's a very rare book, if you can ever find one. Someone on YouTube did actually do a whole series of them reading it at one point.
Okay.
But yeah, and then after that, I think, again, it went quiet for a bit, and then we got onto stuff like...
what we have in front of us. I think for a long while, as Darren said, it was a little bit of a drought as regards the printed words when it comes to Ghostbusters. I think the first one that we all sat hoping and waiting for, which we briefly touched when we was talking about Craig and Troy's recent foray into, was this, which was the Ghostbusters
Ultimate Visual History, which is a fantastic book. It just goes over the history of the franchise, essentially, the first two films. Had a bit on the real Ghostbusters, didn't it? But I think it had a lot. Not a lot, no. And I'm trying to remember now, I can't remember when this came out now. Did this come out before or after the video game? It might have had about a video game in it. And I
think it has got something about a video game in it. So.
And it had lots of little extras in it. So I think there was a Razor Cult business card.
That's right.
And you got close-ups of the proton packs and all that sort of stuff. So it's a good reference guide if you're making equipment and stuff, or costuming. There's lots of pictures.
I mean, a lot of these, for a lot of franchises as regards film franchise, there were lots of these visual histories out there. So if you think like Back to the Future,
I had a Back to the Future.
Yeah, Doctor Who,
probably made by the same company.
It is. I think you'll find Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So there's lots of them, and they have these little packing pieces that, as you say, as you go through them, you can pull these little things out.
I opened a page at one, which is like a concept art of Vigo with a Statue of Liberty crown on.
Yeah.
So yeah, very cool. And there's just so much good in here. There's a replica of a preview card when they showed the preview of the original film. People would, I think that's where people would score it, isn't it? And then they had to re-edit the film based on the opinions. Yeah, and again, more concept art. So there's loads of cool stuff.
There was actually a few weeks ago, there was a preview ticket stub come up on eBay, and I think that it's in America. I think the guy wanted $1,500. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Maybe he's been eating a few of those Alma jellies.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then he come at me with a cheeky offer and said, "Look, you could have this for $1,100." I said, "Yeah, I bet I could."
Yeah.
And some people think that some of the things they've got.
Yeah, I think sometimes these big franchises, Ghostbusters certainly, Star Wars is another one. I'm sure Turtles and all this stuff are the same thing. Is where some people who are not really in the collecting world just think because it's Ghostbusters, it's immediately worth a fortune, and that isn't always the case. Sometimes it is, of course. If you have an original carded Peter Venkman figure, that's obviously worth quite a lot of money.
Yeah.
But just because you've got, one of the books we looked at, for example, is an old book from the 80s, but it's probably worth a tenner.
Yeah, exactly.
But someone will probably look at that and think, oh, that's worth loads and loads of money. I mean, one thing I've been looking at on eBay recently is this mug.
Yeah, another one, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a colour changing mug, and this person's listed it for £50, and they've relisted that about 5 times at this point.
Both of us have made offers on it.
Yeah.
Sensible offers as well, we're not low ballers.
And
they just either ignore you or come back with an offer £2 below £50. And
and it's like, you must realise you've listed that 5 times, it's not worth the money you're asking for.
No.
But some people, like I say, I think they're just thinking too many of these out-of-date jellies.
Yeah.
And you see that all the time, don't you? With like Ghostbusters, and I say other franchises, you see it all the time as well.
Because the famous phrase you always get when you talk to anybody that's got something, they go, well, on eBay. Yeah, well, on eBay, you go and sell it then. Cause,
yeah, and that's the thing. I could take this can of Pepsi and I could list, we should have Coke really, that's Coke is Ghostbusters.
Yeah, I know, but you've got Pepsi.
I could list that for £1,000.
Yeah.
Buy it now for £1,000. And so then Chris could come along and go, well, someone's listed that for £1,000, so mine's worth £1,000. It's not worth £1,000. It's worth, what, £1? Well, probably not even, probably worth about 10p now. I've drank half of it.
Yeah. And with the problem. You know, and with most of these things as well, you know, don't get me wrong, there's some really rare items out there, and we know they hold a great monetary value, but it's about what somebody is willing to pay for it.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what it comes down to. The best auction in the world is when you get two people like myself and Darren that want something desperately, and money isn't an object. Yeah. You know, and then the sky's the limit with it. But
yeah,
you know,
and that's when it can go for the crazy money. But
that is very rare. You know, as I say, and many times I've seen it where you've fought over something, you've lost it, and then a repeat item comes up a week later
for a lot less.
A lot less, yeah. Because those two people are no longer competing.
Yeah, I remember seeing, it's completely unrelated, I remember seeing an original Mr. Blobby costume go up on eBay a couple of years ago.
I remember.
And it went for, was it like 50 grand, or absolute insane amount. Yeah. And then about 4 more suddenly appeared on eBay, and they were selling for like £1,000. Because, you know, crazy, it is crazy how it works. Yeah. But anyway, so we're going off on a completely different route again.
Should we touch on Violets?
Yes, absolutely.
So another really interesting read. You know, if you're into Ghostbusters and you love your Ghostbusters, I can't really recommend this one highly enough. And I think this guy we all love dearly, and it's Harold Ramis, and this is written lovingly by his daughter, Violet Ramis still. And it's a fantastic read. It gives you, the book is called Ghostbusters Daughter, Life with My Dad. And it gives you an amazing insight into Harold's life and the type of complex character he was.
Yeah, and there's no one better to write a book like that, because a lot of biographies are not very often written by the actor or celebrity themselves, and not normally by the family member, normally ghost written.
Yeah.
Generally how these things work off an interview, whereas she was there, she lived the life, she knew exactly what he was like. I say no one better to write that book. Yeah,
and it's very much, if you're looking for this sweet, perfect story about a guy we all loved, this isn't the book for you. This is very much a warts and all book. As I say, it's very, very heartfelt and honestly written. And actually, like when I started to read it, I couldn't put it down. And yeah, I wouldn't. I literally couldn't recommend it highly enough. It's an amazing book.
Yeah, absolutely. Highly recommended. Shall we talk about some more more modern comics?
Yeah.
I think. So, obviously we've talked about the visual book, we've talked about Harold Ramis' daughter's book, we talked about the real Ghostbusters comics, but we had several different comic series come based on the movie version. The first one was called Ghostbusters Legion. I think that was the first one where it come back in comic form.
Yeah.
Which was by a company, was it called 88 Miles Per Hour Studio or something?
I don't know. You're more like the
Yeah, I might be remembering wrong, but that was a series called Ghostbusters Legion, and I seem to remember the company going under. They released it, but I think they went under.
Right.
And I'm trying to remember the story now, because trouble is I've read all this, but it's just trying to remember it all, and sometimes I think some things seep into others and you get things mixed up. But I seem to remember having a story where a friend of theirs, when they were at university, come into it as the bad guy or something, and maybe possessed as a ghost. I'm going to have to go back and read it, but that was an interesting read.
Because a lot of these later ones that we're talking about now, by people like this and IDW and that have been collated into graphic novels as well, haven't they? And hardback versions.
Yeah, and the IDW, so they started off doing a few different series. I think they've done one called Haunted Holidays, and there's a few others. And then they went on to what they called their ongoing series, which went for a few years. And for me personally, it's still one of the best Ghostbusters media outside the films.
Yeah.
Because the writers, they just got the voices to perfection on that. I think, it really felt like it was the real Ghostbusters talking.
Yeah.
And I really liked the art style. It was really well done. Obviously, art is subjective, but I just think it was worked perfectly for comic. You could tell who each character was. It was just really good, and the stories were great, and it introduced new characters, which sometimes we get a bit protective of those original characters. We don't want new characters, but they done a great job of it. They brought Kylie in from the Extreme Ghostbusters, added her in, added some other characters, and then they done a crossover with Turtles.
That's right,
which was my dream as a child, really wanted that. Then they crossed over the real Ghostbusters with the movie Ghostbusters, and then they had I think it was called Mass Hysteria. We just brought every type of Ghostbuster in from all the different worlds. So absolutely, and it was a shame that they lost the license. Really, I think their last series, if I remember right, was called Year One, and it was about the first year of the Ghostbusters. Which again was a really interesting read. And gutted that ended really.
So now currently we've got
Dark
Horse have taken the torch over.
Yeah, and they've obviously going off on the new canon, which is obviously Afterlife and Frozen Empire, and so they had Back in Town, which was set between the two films. It was set after Afterlife, wasn't it? As they go back to the firehouse and dealing with it. The artwork, I've not heard many people say they like the artwork in it. I was one of those. I didn't like the artwork. The story was okay.
The story was good. Yeah.
I didn't have an issue with the story at all. It had a bit of, I think they used a bit of old crystallised Vigo's ectoplasm, didn't they?
As you say, it was mainly the drawing style that people were a little disappointed with, to be honest. Then we currently got the next series of that ongoing, which I can't remember. Dead Man's Chest.
That's it. Yes. So currently issue 2. I think issue 3 is probably due next week. I haven't actually sat down and read those yet.
No. Again, covers on these are very good. I prefer the drawing style on these. I think Johnny Ukaba's on the second one. I like these. And we've got, I think, one of the variant covers from these on issue 2 was the Moogly with the octopus tentacles and that going around him. Which was really, really cool. I really enjoyed that.
So it's going to be good seeing where this series goes in the future. Like, will they go back and fill in gaps? Will they just continue into the future? It's going to be very interesting to see what they do with that. But overall, like I said, the writing style's fine. It was just the artwork was that.
I mean, and obviously we've got the potential with the fact that there is the new Netflix series coming up. That obviously, with that being cartoon based, that we get. A companion comic.
We could well do. It's going to be interesting to see whether that ties in all together or if it's its own separate thing. Time will tell on that, I guess.
I mean, just going back slightly, I don't know. This is obviously something we're going to have to cover maybe separately as well. Was when we were talking about a real Ghostbusters comics, was every year in the UK. I don't know whether this was something that was. Transpired in America, but we used to get
the annuals.
We used to get an annual.
How did I forget those?
I don't know.
And annuals were. I don't know if they are really nowadays, but they were a big thing. Whatever you were into back in the 80s and 90s,
you got an annual.
Whether it's Turtles, Star Wars, He-Man, it was always an annual, and it was always an exciting thing. You'd normally get it for Christmas, or your nan or something.
So the annuals normally started to come out, and you'd see them in the shops and that around about sort of November time. And why annuals really hold a big thing within my mind was obviously my parents were a lot older. They'd lived through the Second World War and that, and they were very anti-fireworks. I don't know if it's explosions and all that. I don't know. They didn't like it. So as a child, as much as I'd sit there with my nose up against the window, looking out the window at the firework displays going on around. I was never allowed fireworks. So to make up for this, my mum always bought me firework night, or just a few days before, 2 annuals of my choice. Yeah, and annuals were a staple thing. As you say, Christmas time we used to get like at the Beano or Dandy annual or whatever the comic was of its time. And so when Real Ghostbusters had a comic, there was a few annuals come out, wasn't there, for various years. Yeah,
there might have been 4 or 5 in
About
total.
5, I think, in total, yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's one that's a lot rarer than the other, if I remember right. But I'm trying to remember the years and all that. I think I've got them all. That is one of the problems. There's so many different comics and books that you sort of collect them and kind of forget what you have with them.
Yeah.
I mean, we do that with most collectibles, but I think do that a lot more with the comics and books. Generally.
Yeah, as you say. But an annual was a great thing to have, and again, these aren't expensive collectibles.
No, you pick them up between £5 and £10 normally quite easily. Yeah,
it's one of those things that you'd find at a boot sale or in the UK or a yard sale in America if they was about. So very cool thing.
Right, so I guess we should talk about probably the most important Ghostbusters book, certainly within the Ghostbusters universe, and that is Tobin's Spirit Guide.
So I think the first time we got a half reasonable Tobin's was this version here.
Yeah, and this was by IDW, wasn't it, if I remember right? There's actually 3 versions of this. As far as I know, the only difference is the cover. So the one we've got here is a red hardback, but it also come in green and grey softback, which were exclusives to maybe Loot Crate or Nerd Crate. One of them. Which, if you're the serious collector who has to have everything, you want all 3. But if you just want it to read, you only need this one.
Yeah, this one's quite nice because it's signed by Dan on the front.
Yeah, it's signed by...
it's signed by quite a few inside. Dan, Bill, Ernie. So, there's quite a few on there. So.
And it's a great book. You're just going through it. It's got such great artwork, and it's got info on all the different ghosts. And I actually did a whole video series on my YouTube channel about all this. So I was basically reading all the different chapters and showing pictures of the ghosts and all that.
Don't know how we've got Paul Rudd pictures in there. Don't know where they come from.
Snuck in there. But brilliant artwork. I think a lot of that would have just looked great as prints. Yeah, really, they could have made a folder of prints of that artwork if they wanted to, and I certainly would have bought that.
But for many a year, that was the only sort of Tobin Spirit Guide that we had. I think there was one that tied in with West End Games, was it? I think there was a Tobin Spirit Guide with that.
I think there was, if I remember. I don't believe I have that, but so I couldn't say how good it was. Yeah. But there was that. I think someone may have made an unofficial one at some point. I just have this vague recollection. I might be remembering wrong.
And then we got the version of the Tobins, which was just pretty much like an empty book cover, but it was really cool. That came with the
Spirits Unleashed
game.
Got the Afterlife was the first time we actually saw Tobin's Spirit Guide. We'd obviously heard of it in the film, and we had seen it in the Real Ghostbusters, hadn't we? But we hadn't seen it on film. And when Spirits Unleashed came out, they done a nice collector's edition that come in the box. And I know one of our crew, I think it was James. Yeah, he had actually bought several of those and made actually books out of them, and he's done a very good job.
Really was, gifted one to me, and for a long time it was my favourite version of the Tobins. Put some old sort of prints that come out of this guide, and put them into the pages of that, and discoloured the pages and aged them, and it was really cool. Nice gift from James.
Yeah, he done a brilliant job of that. But I think the ultimate one is the one that's in front of me. Yeah. Which I still need to buy myself. So this is a version made by Magnoli, who make loads of great, Ghostbusters replicas, flight suits, Frozen Empire jackets, boots. I mean, can't recommend their stuff enough.
No.
And they have done the best replica of Tobin Spirit Guide you'll ever see.
Yeah, I mean,
I think.
to say this, just show you the outer packaging.
Even the box itself is just, really cool.
Yeah. So it's not a particularly cheap item.
No,
I think it comes in at around about
Might be about 250.
240, 250.
Yeah.
But if you're a serious Ghostbusters collector or a fan, this is a must-have.
Yeah, this is the book for you, and it just looks like we've stolen the book from the set.
Yeah,
that's how good it looks. Yeah, absolutely incredible. It looks like an antique book. It's been aged. You can buy it unaged, can't you?
Yeah, you can.
I think aged is the way to go.
Yeah.
It does look like it's come from an antique bookstore.
So it comes inside it. There's a little business card from Razor Cult.
Yeah.
Okay. And then this version, as Darren said, this is the aged version, and it also comes with the attached charm.
Yeah, and I'd be curious to see an unaged version just to compare them. But when I eventually buy it, I want to buy an aged one. So.
Yeah. So this, as Darren said, looks, smells, everything about it is just an old book.
Yeah, and just it feels like an old book as you're going through it. Just it looks old. It's even got little creases in here.
It's got like flecking in it as if it's got damp over the years,
and it's been fully written, with different, loads of ghosts, stuff from Ghostbusters, but it's added other stuff in.
Yeah, so literally it's brought all worlds into it. Things like,
so I'm sure there's like Beetlejuice,
Krampus, Gremlins, all sorts of stuff crosses into this. The plates are done like old vintage book plates, like copper plate etchings. So, it's amazing. I think they've even got like the idol from Indiana Jones in it and stuff like that.
Yeah, and obviously I don't have it, so I've not sat down and read it. And I imagine a lot of people who are going to buy this probably want it more as a display thing. But but I think, and I'm saying this without reading it, that you would enjoy reading it. Yeah, I think it looks like something you could sit down and have a good. It's a big book, so it's not something you can do in an evening.
No,
but yeah, absolutely incredible. And the artwork and everything in there is great. Yeah, they've done an amazing job.
Yeah, no, it's next level stuff, to be honest. And it's so if you're like the collector who maybe doesn't have a huge collection that you're tripping over, and you've just got maybe 10 or 15 items that are real high end and something a little bit special.
This will be something to add to that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Again, as always, Magnolia knock it out of the park.
Yeah, it's quite ridiculous how good they are with their stuff, really.
Yeah, you're always going to have the odd critics. I saw people when it first came out went, page 226, there was a spelling mistake in paragraph 3, and you just think...
Yeah, I saw that, and I just thought, get a life.
Get a life.
Yeah. Ultimately, how many pages has this got?
It's about 500
pages. You've got 500 pages, and 479 is the last page, so you're pretty close there. And you have to remember that this is supposed to be an old book, so their spelling... they wouldn't have had the editors to check this stuff back then, so I actually think that probably adds to a little bit of the realism.
Yeah, you want to see my spelling during the week on my paperwork.
And I'm not being funny, you can buy books even in this day and age with, spell checkers and all that, still have mistakes.
Yeah.
So, I get a life if you're one of those.
Yeah, there's no need for that. It's, as I say, it's a brilliant book, and as I say, as far as me and Darren are concerned, it's one that we can't recommend highly enough. So absolutely.
It's funny because it's not an official Ghostbusters collectible, but it is as good as any official Ghostbusters collectible.
Yeah.
And it amazes me really that Sony haven't gone to them and just gave them a license, because their stuff's that good.
Yeah.
And I suppose they'd want money.
Yeah, there is that to it. So it's a difficult one. So we're going to save that one till last, but we're going to get on to this one.
Yeah, so this is the Ghostbusters art book that came out maybe 4 years ago. No, probably not.
A little bit
sooner than that. This came out. I'll open it up and have a look. I am trying to think, because this came out after Afterlife, didn't it? I think
it did.
But yeah, this is a book filled with just Ghostbusters art, basically. The forward was written in 2019, so that's actually older than I realised.
Yeah. So, as Darren said, this is basically lots of.
How good is this picture? So I'm going to explain it for anyone who's not watching, but it's basically a giant Twinkie with New York resting on top of it as a Ghostbusters poster. So it's you've got Ghostbusters with the cast and everything.
Yeah, this book is filled with things like Mondo posters and lots of the other artwork that has been coming out for the past few years. So some really, really nice pieces within this. You know.
Yeah, some absolutely incredible stuff in here. I mean, you'll buy this and you'll want to cut out all the pages and put in frames.
Yeah, it is basically a coffee table book. You know, just one for you to glance at and look. You know, and possibly if there's a image you really like, it might be a case of trying to seek out that poster or that design from the various artists and that have put their work within it.
So that's one of my favourites. It's like a very Japanesey design. But yeah, there's so much good in here.
And again, I think you can pick this one up at a really reasonable price at the moment.
I would imagine sort of £25 pounds, which, you know, for what you get inside is a bargain.
I think there was actually one of the. It might have been at Monsterpalooza. There was some signed versions of this by Jason.
Yes, I remember some of them coming up online. I believe they might have come in a different box, like a
slightly different slipcase.
Yeah, which would be nice to have got my hands on one, and then maybe one day one will pop up on eBay and we can fight over it.
Yeah, I'm sure we can.
Yeah. But yeah, an amazing book. Just want to give a very quick mention to the Real Ghostbusters visual. I forgot the full name of it now. We've done a whole episode on it.
Yeah.
We're not going to go over that book again, but it was amazing. So go back and check that episode, or better yet, go and buy the book. Yeah,
go and support Craig, support Troy. They've done an amazing job on that. Yeah. So yeah, really, really. Really good idea to try and support these guys. Yeah. They put a lot of hard work in it for 3+ years to get that book to where it is. Yeah, they did. I mean, we done a whole hour podcast on it, and we didn't even touch the surface. No, did we? We could have talked about that for days. Yeah. Okay, and last but not least, in our little book section tonight is this amazing book. This was written by Claire Bueno. And for those of you who don't know, Claire and Anthony produced an amazing documentary. Yeah, Cleaning Up the Town, the best Ghostbusters documentary ever made. And this isn't an official Sony documentary. This was made by a fan for the fans, but would have completely been at home in a official Ghostbusters box set. It was that good. Yeah. They poured their heart and soul into cleaning up the town. I think it took them something like, I might be quite wrong, but I think it was something like 10 or 12 years to complete because it was self-funded. So all their trips backwards and forwards to America. Yeah, to interview all the people, and that is not cheap. No. They was given pretty much unprecedented access to people that that they didn't anticipate they'd be able to get access to, and which is absolutely incredible. Just that alone, really, to get to speak to some of the people that they interviewed.
how do you even go about that? You know?
Yeah, I remember. I think Claire talks about getting to interview Harold Ramis and that, and going to a little unassuming apartment in Chicago. And him sort of saying like he could give him an hour, and sort of 3 hours later he's putting off meetings because he's just chatting away with them. And she said like he's the sweetest, loveliest man who put them at so much ease. So they have a new documentary.
Yeah, Too Hot to Handle. I don't know if we have a release date yet, do we? But
no, not this moment in time.
Yeah, but that's going to be on Ghostbusters 2. And I mean, I've not seen it, but I can already say it's going to be amazing just based on that first one. If it's anything like that, it's going to be really good.
Yeah, as I say, they have a real passion for this sort of thing. And as I say, they're both really, really lovely. Claire's amazing. Anthony's such a nice guy as well. And Claire has wrote this companion book, and again, this is a big, thick, chunky work, and she's managed to include so much in this book that they couldn't put in the documentary. This is another Ghostbusters Bible.
Yeah. That is probably the best way of describing it.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
There's very few books that you can pick up and you can look and go, do you know what? That's going into real depth and asking the questions I wanted to ask, and talking to the people I wanted to talk to. But this book really, really does. As I say, I can't. We say this about some of these books and that. I'm a bookworm. I do like a book. I do like a magazine. I can't recommend this highly enough. I really can't. As I say, Claire's put a lot of love into this book. I think you'll see that just from the cover and that. She really deserves your support on this.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have it, highly recommend buying it ASAP.
Yeah, it's a fascinating read. It's not one of these that you've got to read from cover to cover straight away. You can duck in and out of it as you want to.
Yeah.
I think if you go onto their Facebook page or their Instagram, you can get signed copies of this from Claire at this moment in time. Excuse me. She is going up and down the country doing various book signings and bookshops.
So keep an eye on the social media and hopefully one near you at some point in the future. Yeah,
as I say, an amazing book. Two lovely people, and again, please support them. These are people like we keep talking about within the community that are doing something really special. And they're doing it for our benefit, Yeah,
this sort of thing is a labour of love.
Yeah,
I think certainly. I mean, obviously, I don't know the financials, but I'm sure probably not the effort put in. Probably doesn't even give them a minimum wage.
No,
I'd be willing to bet, because these sorts of projects are it's about the love for it, not about the money.
Yeah, and it's a lasting legacy that Claire and Nancy have given us with these things. And as I say, they are two of the most approachable people within the community you'll ever want to meet. They're very supportive of us as Ghostbusters, and hopefully when Too Hot to Handle comes out, you'll all queue up in your droves to go and see it and fill out the cinemas. I mean, I went to the premiere of Cleaning Up the Tan. It was an amazing night at the IMAX. Please support them. Give them a look out on Facebook, on Instagram. And,
absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, we haven't gone over every single Ghostbusters book, because otherwise this podcast would be about 2 weeks long. But I think we've definitely covered our favourites.
Yeah.
I'm sure someone's going to comment saying you missed this one, or you missed this one, you missed this one. Not done it on purpose, just a timing thing.
And obviously bear in mind, our podcast is in its infancy. There's a lot of these things we're going to revisit with other stuff. If there's subjects that you would like us to cover and talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Let us know. And I mean, we've got so many subjects we talk about, you know, that we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you've got anything specific you want, you know, maybe we can move it to the front of the line
probably.
or higher up the queue.
Yeah. As I say, please, you know, as I say, between us, I think we've got enough collectibles and knowledge to make a fair hash of it, and plus, you know, give you some a few memories. And I think we've had that on quite a few of the episodes we've done, you know, where people have gone, oh wow, I remember that. Now you've mentioned it, you know, oh that's quite a memory, or that's quite funny, you know, and any memories you've got yourselves, you know, please drop us a message, you know, share them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, we'd love to share them. You know, any pictures you've got, we'll be happy to try and edit them into the podcast. So yeah.
Well, it depends how many people send pictures.
Yeah.
I'll get 100 pictures. None of you.
Yeah,
can.
James. Okay, none of those pictures, young man. Okay.
Yeah, no, I don't want to see those pictures.
No,
again.
not again.
5 years of therapy.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, still not over that. But yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, maybe even a Q&A podcast at some point could be a good one.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah.
Yeah, ask us your questions, like Ghostbusters related, I guess. I don't think we want really like Ghostbusters questions, like what's your favourite colour Smarties, or
orange.
Orange, yeah. Ain't they the ones that are really bad for you? The orange?
I know.
Yeah, the ones that make you hyper.
Yeah.
That explains a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for watching or listening, depending on where you're viewing our podcast. Again, we can't really say enough how much we appreciate it.
No.
And hopefully we will get to see you in the next one. But until then, we are
ready to believe you.
Drain for Twinkies and coffee and a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Ray's got a plan, but it's held with tape. Egon's experiments always misbehave. Venkman's flirting, but it's all escape. While the bank account looks like a dried up lake. The last of the petty cash went down the drain. Twinkies and coffee in a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Ray's got a plan, but it's held with tape. Egon's experiments always misbehave. Venkman's flirting, but it's all escape. While the bank account looks like a dried up lake. The last of the petty cash went down the drain. For Twinkies and coffee in a busted chain. No more donuts, no more caffeine rain. Just saving the city and feeling the strain. Janine shouting, the budget's toast. Ghost traps buzzing, but we're broke the most. No time to worry when there's a haunting post. But who knew fighting ghosts cost a ton of dough? Take one last job and hope for luck. Cross the streams if we're really stuck. Maybe one big ghost could change our clock, but for now